This morning, man, it's Monday. That's right. It's the last Monday before preseason cuts. So we got a 53 we have to talk about, and that great performance by Trevor Lawrence yesterday in the preseason game, the preseason finale, in fact. This is exactly what the fans wanted. I'm going to give you more of what you want today here on Locked On Jaguars.
Jags, your daily Jacksonville Jaguars podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's happening, y'all, on a Monday? What's going on? The Jaguars won a preseason game yesterday at Dallas. More importantly, Urban Meyer finally got what he wanted. He got a nice tempoed offense, and he got guys coming out and playing well and making plays and not looking like a slow team. So I think it was absolutely wonderful, man, yesterday. And I know you all were happy as well. All right, I got to let you know the Locked On NFL podcast is previewing every team and every division with the help of Odyssey's lineup of NFL experts through September 8th. There are preview episodes on the feed that you can also listen to right now. Follow Locked On NFL today on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. I know everybody was happy yesterday because everybody finally saw a glimpse of what the offense can look like. I know you were also happy with the way the defense flowed to the ball and were lively and were hitting. Now, I know you want to say, okay, we got to temper our enthusiasm a little bit because it was the Dallas Cowboys backups. No, you don't, because you didn't have to, you panicked a little bit. You know, the backups from the other teams that we've been playing were beating the Jaguars, right? And you were upset and you just wanted to see them look normal against whoever they were playing. So you don't have to temper anything. They lined up on the field and they outplayed the people who in front of them. That's all you have to think about. That's it. Because what you were so upset about is the fact that they couldn't do that against backups. Well, now they showed you, yeah, we can. Yeah, we can if we're not vanilla, and yeah, we can if we do a little bit of what the coach wants. I think they probably looked around the league and they were like, I know if I'm Urban, and these coaches have been telling me that I couldn't, we can't show too much, but then I look around the league and I see teams showing everything, or what looks like just at least trying some stuff. Urban was like, well, they can do it. Why can't we? Folks didn't want Trevor Lawrence to play in the third game. They said it was meaningless. Well, you see Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson on the field and Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes, and you're like, why can't we play Trevor Lawrence, right? Right. So, you know, we do need to get to the point one day, though, that we're not just responding. And I don't know if that's what the Jaguars did, but I know fans, and even me, the point that I just made, we shouldn't have to worry about doing things because somebody else does or doesn't do it. You have to make your own mind up for what you want to do as a team. But we'll get to that point. We will definitely get to that point. And at some point, hopefully, we'll get to the point where we don't worry about that stuff anymore, right? I am Tony Wiggins here with Locked On Jaguars, your team every day. And what we're going to do is bring you this today. I'm going to preview what I think the 53 is going to look like. Yep, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in segment 2 and 3. I'm going to do the defense first and then the offense. On the defense, I will include the 3 special teams members, and that is the punter, the kicker, and the long snapper. And teams, still have a long snapper. I wonder if they're ever going to get to a point where they don't have a guy who's just primarily a long snapper on the team taking up a roster spot. If they can find one of those other linemen that can do that. That's a very interesting question. Or I don't care if it's a tight end or a linebacker. If they're ever going to get to the point where they don't just have a guy whose primary job is just to snap the ball. Not saying that it's not a skill and I don't want those guys to have a job. It's just that, can you imagine if you can find somebody on your roster that does that really, really well, or maybe 2 people, and you can now use that as another roster spot where you can actually keep a regular positional player from offense or defense. So, I mean, they got regular people returning kicks, right? And not to say that long snappers are irregular people, but you guys know my point. I'm going to do the defense in segment 2, and then I'm going to do the offense in segment 3. It was hard. It was extremely hard because, one, because of some injuries, but two, because the Jaguars seemingly in the preseason gave a lot of guys a lot of attention that may not make the club. And the guys that they gave the attention to that may not make the club actually played pretty well. So it's going to be very, very difficult for me, excuse me, to figure out whether or not the attention they gave him was because they wanted to see, or whether or not the attention that they gave him was because they had injuries or whatever. But some guys really, really did take advantage of some opportunities that were given to them. It doesn't mean that they're done. It doesn't mean that they won't ever play in the league again or they won't be on the practice squad. But it's really weird for me to do it because you don't know what the Jaguars' intentions are and how many players are going to keep at what position. So that's the new part of Urban Meyer that's a mystery to me, is how he's going to prioritize the cuts, how he's going to prioritize what does he keep, who he keeps, and based on what we saw. But the game yesterday was very, very it was exciting. It was exciting to see Trevor Lawrence make these great throws that people says I saw him in practice, but other people said they haven't seen a generational talent yet. He dropped some in the breadbasket. I think the second touchdown to Chenault, where he kind of had to throw it and he had to fire it out of there. He whipped the ball out and his feet weren't even set, and he threw it in the only possible way it could be caught, over the top, right, just spiraled right down and fell right into Chenault's hands right before Chenault was able to double tap. I thought that throw was probably the most impressive one that I saw yesterday. So good for him. I did notice that I'm watching the preview shows or the news shows or all of the sports, and Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence were the first thing that they talked about when he didn't play well or when the offense was vanilla. But now this story for the Jaguars is just his what does he go, 11 out of 12 yesterday with 153 rating and 2 touchdowns. It's just like a little blip now. It's like, because it's not sensational. It's not him being successful isn't as big as him not looking successful. So I'm not going to hear that. I probably won't hear that bust word for a couple of weeks, and that's a good thing. The Jags are getting ready for the next 2 weeks to do their roster cut down, shape their roster, grab their identity, and get ready for a Sunday game here in less than 2 weeks against the Houston Texans. So we'll make sure that we continue to remind you about that and everything that's going on with it. But first, man, what we're going to do is we're going to break this 53-man roster down for you. Try to do our best, and I came up with 53. And I'll do it in just a second here on a Monday edition of Locked On Jaguars. North One is better banking for small business owners. Serving small business owners is all they do. North One allows you to manage your money from anywhere, whether you're at home or on the go. Everything you need to manage your business finances is at your fingertips. Never step foot in a bank again. In addition to features you'd expect, like mobile check deposit, cash withdrawals, the ability to send and receive anything, ACH and wire payments, North One is an FDIC insured account that can save you both time and money. North One integrates with the accounting software you already use, saving you hours of manual bookkeeping. And the North One's envelope feature, you can automatically budget and save for things like rent, payroll, taxes, and more. With North One, you'll never pay overdraft or NSF fees. Never. Saving you hundreds of dollars per month. To get started, visit apply.northone.com/locked-on. Now I'm going to spell that for you. apply.northone.com/locked-on. North One, business banking made for America. I got to tell you, too, about Bet Online, man. Bet Online, hey, it's time. It's time. Total Leather met this weekend with college football. You got a big college football week coming up this coming weekend for the Labor Day weekend. And then, of course, NFL in less than 2 weeks. And it's that time of year for you to get ready to make your wagers, as Bet Online is your number one spot for all the pro and college football action this season. Get all the updated odds, props, contests, including online's biggest $500,000 NFL mega contest and the world's largest $200,000 NFL Survivor contest, open now at Bet Online. Head to the website and use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 100% welcome bonus. Be sure to take advantage of the opening day super promo. Make a bet on the Thursday game between the Cowboys and the Bucks. And if you lose, your wager will be refunded. For new customers only when you sign up using promo code NFL100. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. From football to basketball to boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait and take advantage of all the great offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is your online sportsbook experts. If you're just going to log in to take advantage of your welcome bonus, it's locked on, and that is your promo code. All right, man. So doing the hard work here on Locked On Jaguars, trying to come up with a 53, and I actually did it. So excuse me if you see or hear my papers moving around, but I want to make sure I get this out to you, right? So what I did here is I included edge rushers and some of the defensive ends, right? So we're just going to go basically front seven. I kept 5 guys that I believe will be 3-point stand-up types. And of course, in the 4-man package, a couple of these dudes, and maybe more than a couple of these dudes, can actually stick their hand on the ground. And in fact, one of the guys I have sticking his hand on the ground on a regular basis could also be a stand-up guy. So you guys got to bear with me. On the defensive line, let's not even waste any time with it. Josh Allen, of course, is the edge one, in my opinion. I have Laurenti McCray because of his veteran leadership, his special teams, and his versatility, also making the squad. I have Jihad Ward opposite Allen standing up instead of putting his hand on the ground. I think Jihad Ward has played really well in the preseason. And in my opinion, right now at this stage, he's a better player than Kayvon Chason. He gets more stuff done. Speaking of Kayvon, he is number 4 in terms of the edge rushers. And of course, young Mr. Smith, 92, who actually played pretty good yesterday in Dallas, is our 5th guy. So I have 5 guys standing up there. The other guys on the defensive line, of course, we have Hamilton, Brown, and Roy Robinson Harris. They're the first 3. I kept 4 more. I kept Doug Costin, Tufele, as well as Dewan Smoot, who that's the person that I say can do both. He can stand up on the end or play 3 technique. And then Adam Gossett, that's my dude, man. So those are the guys that I kept. So that tells you who I didn't keep, and that's Taven Bryan. He made a bonehead play yesterday. They kept the drive going, and Dallas ended up scoring. So I don't think there's room for him. If there is any room for him, I'd be shocked, but I would not be totally surprised by it. Since Joe Cullen has said that if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to make the team. Well, I don't know what he was doing. I don't, maybe it's something in practice, but you say he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to find his way on the roster. But okay, whatever he was doing, I don't know what that is, but hopefully they get that figured out. At linebacker, we're going with Wilson and Jack, who are the 2 starters. I only kept 2 backups, man, because I'm talking about guys that are primarily going to play weak side and Mike. I kept Quarterman and Allen. Shaq Quarterman has been really, really good. I think he's going to be their starter moving forward, unless Dylan Moses, can get healthy and at some point challenge him. I think down the line they probably view Shaq Quarterman as a starter middle linebacker for a long time here, and that's news to my ears. And I love it, especially anybody that has known Shaq for a long time. I knew Shaq when he was 13, 14 years old, so that's a good thing. That means Quentin Williams probably isn't here. You couldn't keep everybody, so that's what I did with the linebackers. In the defensive backfield, I kept 10 guys because of the way Joe Cullen likes to play and his nickel and dime packages. And then there's also the little bit of injury stuff right now with Tyson Campbell. So you have to keep people in case Campbell isn't ready to go. But I kept 10. Let me tell you where it is. I'm going to go with safety. Jenkins and Jones at safety. That's Josh Jones. I kept Ford. They signed Ford to be a special teams ace, and he's tackled well in the preseason. I kept Ford and Wilson along with Andre Sisco as the 5 safety. So you can do the math. That means Dewey and some of those other guys, I decided to move on from them. I think the upside was tapped out. And I think the Jaguars are looking to be, faster and more sudden. Therefore, some veteran guys are going to get left out. With the corners, Shaq, Griffin, C.J. Henderson. I would start C.J. Henderson if I was the Jaguars because he made a play where this is what I've been trying to tell people about, just eye-popping talent. He made a play yesterday where his guy went on a reverse. And normally what you would do in those situations is you would run straight across the field when a guy's running a reverse and then meet him at a certain point. That's not what CJ did. CJ ran after this dude and caught him and had a good tackle for loss on a play that looked like it had some potential to make a big gain. So you see the talent, you see the ability, and he's probably the only guy who could have made that play on this team. So C.J. Henderson, Shaq, Griffin, Sidney Jones played well, did give up a touchdown later on. Tyson Campbell obviously is going to be on the team, and also Herndon, who they signed for a lot of money. So those are the 5 corners, which means somebody gets left out, and that would be Clay Brooks and a couple of the other cats. But Clay Brooks he was one of those dudes that I keep talking about when I say the team is really putting guys out there and trying to see what they have. He started the preseason off with a bang with a long kick return because that's something that he actually did really well in college. But I don't think under the current circumstances there's much room, but I think he would also find work. And if he doesn't find work, he could be one of those candidates for the practice squad because I do think he has some potential. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take some time to get ready to go over this. We're going to go over the offense. The offense is pretty self. I think you guys can pretty much know where we're going with that. But just in case you don't, I'll show you what I did with it. And I'll do it in just a second here in the third and final segment on the Monday edition of Locked On Jaguars. Let me tell you about DirecTV Stream. Does this sound familiar? You got one device that lets you catch the game live, another that lets you stream your favorite shows. You're watching sports highlights on your phone, and you've got your neighbor's best friends log in for the good stuff. Well, I want to tell you about a simple way to get all that entertainment you love without the hassle, and a great way to finally get your TV together. It's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before. So you can watch your favorite sports teams, movies, and shows all in one place. That means no more juggling remotes and no need to buy another device ever again. And the best part, there's no annual contract. So get rid of the clutter and all of the confusion and get your TV together. I like how they say that, with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more about DirecTV Stream at directtv.com. That's directtv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package. All right, man. Built Bar. You already know what it is. You better know what it is by now. It's the best protein bar ever. They have 9 delicious flavors. I have a personal favorite, which is the salted caramel. But they're all delicious because they're 100% covered in chocolate. All right. So I know by now you guys have had Built Bar. Run through some of the other flavors. Don't get like me and get caught up on one. That peanut butter brownie is absolutely delicious as well. I don't have a problem switching up because all of the flavors have either between 17 or 18 grams of protein, somewhere between 130 and 180 calories, depending on which one you get. But it's just like 5 grams of sugar and 5 grams of carbs. A couple of them, you'll have 4 grams of carbs and 4 grams of sugar. So, when you're trying to look right and you're trying to diet, it's not going to kill you. You know what? It's actually going to help you because it takes away that temptation to go eat something that you're not supposed to, because when you eat a Built Bar, you actually are eating something that's good for you that tastes like something that you're not supposed to be eating, but it's just not true. So go to BuiltBar.com and use the promo code LOCKED15 and you'll get 15% off of your first order. That's right. BuiltBar.com, the promo code is LOCKED15. I'm telling you, man, you got to get it. Get it at BuiltBar.com and get 15% off of your first order. Third and final segment here on Locked On Jaguars. I am Tony Wiggins, and we do this every day. because it's your team every day. We did a little review of the game yesterday where Trevor Lawrence played so well and looked so good. And you had a glimpse of what the offense could actually be. I'm going to grab my paper here again. And we did the guys that we think can make. I had 26 guys on defense that I think could make the final 53. And that includes the 2 kickers and the long snapper. Of course, Cook and Lambeau and the long snapper. I'm going to say his name is Matisic. So I got 27 guys here offensively. And you're going to hear 24 names, but this includes those 3 special teams specialists. I got 2 quarterbacks being kept. And I know that's dangerous. And I know this probably won't happen, but I just couldn't figure out where else I could remove someone. Of course, Trevor Lawrence and CJ Beathard. Those are the 2 guys. Last year they kept 3. Of course, I do think there's a place for Luton, Jake Luton. I just think he's on the practice squad. He may be their 3rd quarterback, but that means that they keep a 3rd quarterback. Where I think they'll lose a guy is the wide receiver position. So, because I do think they're going to keep all 10 of those defensive backs, and I think they're going to keep all of those defensive linemen that I talked about. I had them keeping 7 guys on the interior and 5. So 12 guys in the front 7 on defense. Lawrence and CJ Beathard basically took the backup job from Gardner Minshew, who was traded away to Philly over the weekend. In terms of the running backs, I have 3. And I had 3 before Etienne got hurt. I had teased and suggested that they may keep 4 when he got hurt, just to kind of piece together what they were missing with him, because you can't get it all in one person. Turns out you probably can't get it all in 2 different people. But I got 3, and then I'm going to keep the extra wide receiver as a makeup for what they'll miss a little bit with Etienne. So I got Robinson, obviously, Carlos Hyde, obviously, and I said Ogunbowale. I'm going to keep Ogunbowale as the number 3 running back. Wide receivers, Chark, Chenault, Jones, all no-brainers. Agnew, Dorsett, and Tavon Austin. And I think they're going to keep Devin Smith. I think Urban's going to keep Devin Smith because of the aspect of speed. He made a play yesterday, former 2nd-round pick, knows him very well, was a huge part of why they beat Alabama in the national championship game with him going deep. I just think the temptation of having that speed and someone he knows doesn't favor well for Colin Johnson. I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. But this is just my gut feeling. I think Colin either gets traded or they try to hold him around for the practice squad, and it ain't gonna work. If they waive him, he's gonna get picked up. So, but this need for speed and wanting to be fast, and the loss of this would be totally different if Travis Etienne had not been lost. But this is just a guess on my part. You bring a guy in, you give him a chance, he makes a play, and then boom, what do? Why'd you bring him in? You know what? You saw what you wanted to see, and you already know him. I think they're gonna give Devin Smith a shot because of his speed. Tight end, I think they'll keep 3. And this is where I had to cut a guy off at the end. I had to let Ellison go. But I think they keep Manhurst, Shaughnessy, and the rookie Farrell from Ohio State. I do. Manhurst has surprised a little bit with his ability to catch the ball, too. So those are the 3 I think they keep at tight end. All right, offensive line, I got them keeping 9. And here you go. Cam Robinson, Norwell, Linder, and Taylor. No-brainers. Walker Little, no-brainer. Then I have them keeping the 3 holdovers, Bat, Shatley, and Richardson, because of their experience. So you're going to get 1 change in the offensive top 9, and that's going to be Walker Little. Everything else is going to be just the way it was last year. And I'm telling you, I still think they need to, at some point, figure out, they need to address this group and try to make this group great, not just solid and with potential. This group needs to be great because of your quarterback. All right, I hope that satisfied you guys in your thirst for what I believe will be the 53-man depth chart. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. If I didn't take one of your favorite players, don't get upset, though. It's all right. I'm going to give you some advice right now that's going to help you. You need to listen to the Locked On Bets podcast, because betting on sports doesn't have to be a guessing game if you listen to the new Locked On Bets podcast, hosted by your boy Q and handicapping expert Lee Sterling. Get daily picks, blowout specials, wrong team, favorite picks, and Lee Sterling's lock of the day. Follow the Locked On Bets podcast, brought to you by betonline.ag, wherever you get podcasts. All right, it's a Monday show, man. We're going to keep taking a look at what they're going to do waiver wire wise. We're going to listen to Urban Meyer's press conference today to try to read between the leaves. Is it between the lines or read the tea leaves, or whichever one? We're going to read between whatever we got to figure out what we think they're going to do. And then I'll probably update this at some point this week if they make moves or I start to hear rumblings of something else. But until then, stay tuned, man. Stick with us, and also make sure you hit that subscribe button and that like button on YouTube as well. And tell your friends also that you can see Locked On podcast, Locked On Jaguars podcast every single day on YouTube. You can also get it wherever you get your podcasts. And guess what? It is free on all platforms. You heard me. It is free on all platforms. All right, man. Until the next time, which will be tomorrow, you guys take care. I'm Tony Wiggins here for Locked On Jaguars.